everyone. I fully enjoyed my 2 weeks off for the holidays. I was off work the whole time and I sat by the fire during snowstorms drinking my coffee. I slept in, I spent time with friends and family. We drank some of my homemade meads and wines. The choke cherry wine was really good. I did some crocheting. I did a lot of snuggling with the noisy kitty. I did reading. Oh, let me show you my crochet. I'm working on an Afghan sampler and it's 30 some different blocks. So I haven't touched it for a couple years, but I needed to get back to it. So I've kind of gotten back to that. Went out for New Year's Eve with girlfriends to some live music. We also, same friends, we met at the pottery place and I created a yarn bowl. It has this cutout so that your yarn comes through here when you're pulling it, and then there's also, where are they? There's also holes on the side here if you're doing multiple strands of yarn, but I made this. I think it turned out really cool. And I also, during that same trip, made this little, just on a whim, made a little reindeer bowl. And I think he turned out really well too, just for snacks or something. What else did I do? I did a lot of baking and cooking. Made those cute mug hugger cookies. I think I showed those to you. I just in this last week since New Year's, I did some decluttering and some home maintenance and replacing some things and cleaning as well. So also since the New Year, I have inventoried my supplies and reordered some things that I know I'll need for the year. I've revisited my finances and look at Pumpkin back there, and revamped my budget. She must have a toy. Oh, and I canned my last fall's pumpkin harvest. I'll do an entire, I may do an entire video just on that. If not, it'll be in my next vlog. I need my glasses so I can read to you. I also updated my winter goals and my 2023 goals and organized a list of new skills that I want to learn. And let me tell you some of my winter goals. I've got them in my bullet journal. I want to get my ham radio license. I want to finish that Afghan that I have been working on. I want to get back to sewing and make a garment. I haven't done that for a long time. I want to get my clothes organized, go through all my clothes and get rid of stuff that I know I'm not going to wear. I might paint my laundry room. It's kind of a dreary place down there, unfinished basement, but we'll see. That's not super high on my list. I have some writing I want to do. I want to either create a cold frame for my garden or enclose that garden arch where I grew the pumpkins and the watermelons and cantaloupe and beans that's over my tower. I want to enclose that in plastic and create a little bit of a greenhouse situation maybe. I'm going to be adding to my backyard garden and I need to do some designing and figuring on how to do that and where I can put everything. Plus I'm going to be wanting some structures like bean towers and things like that. And I'd just as soon make them out of natural materials like sticks and logs, but we'll see how far I get with that. And I want to figure out a better compost setup. Those little rotating tumblers that I have, they just don't hold enough. I'd rather have open piles and at least 2 of them, if not 3, just to rotate through, but we'll see. I need to investigate that and come up with that. I have a list of new skills I want to learn so that I can learn a new skill every month or more. But I have them kind of chronological because some things are weather dependent. So here are some of those new skills that I want to learn this year, and of course I'll include them in my vlog. Ice fishing. I haven't done that since I was a kid, and the way we did it was just on open ice, no shack, no warmth at all, and I froze my ass off, let me tell you. So it's not really been something I was ever looking forward to, but I know that there are better ways to keep warm, and so whatever. I'm going to try to go ice fishing. Snowshoeing, I haven't done that much. I have snowshoes, but I just have tinkered with them, so I might try to get out in the woods and do some serious snowshoeing. And then I need to make that rain barrel watering system, the collection and watering system, so that I can save money on my water bill in the summertime. And then I talked about the cold frame. I want to smoke. I need to get a smoker. The one I'm looking at is kind of expensive and it relies on electricity. I wish I could find a gravity-fed hopper charcoal smoker / grill with a griddle that did not rely on electricity. They all have this Wi-Fi control, and I think that's ridiculous. I don't want that. I'm trying to get away from using power, so we'll see if I can find one. But I want to smoke some of the meat that I buy and or hunt. Getting to that. I want to make some wild pottery that's usable. I want to make a wild foraged or garden grown materials broom and learn how to make brooms. I want to learn how to hunt game birds. I want to can potatoes. I've never canned potatoes. I want to hunt big game like deer, elk, and antelope, and that's already on my schedule and in the works. I want to cure some bacon from a pork belly. I want to make tallow soap. I just made, and you'll see it in this vlog, some tallow skincare items, but the tallow soap requires lye, and I haven't decided if I'm going to try to make that lye from ash from my wood stove or if I'm going to buy some lye, but there's certain equipment that I'm going to have to get for that regardless. I want to make some candles from tallow and or beeswax. I need to investigate that. And I want to weave a basket from foraged fibers. I have quite a few bundles of foraged fibers that I got last summer and fall and dried in my garage, and I just haven't gotten around to actually making any of those baskets from it. And then I also want to add the skill of growing ginger and turmeric on my list. So those are just some of the things, but I have just a little bit of activity that I filmed for you for this early January vlog. I didn't film a whole lot because I was busy enjoying my holidays and taking some time off, but I have a couple projects that I will show you here. I hope you've had a great beginning to 2023. I have been thoroughly enjoying my 2 weeks off of work. For the holidays, I have read the entire Laura Ingalls Wilder series, and I have been cooking, and I started crocheting last night. It's New Year's Eve today, so I'm running out of days. But one of the things, I've been trying to use up some of my freezer food, and one thing I thought of today was I want to use up some of the tallow that I rendered, and you can find the video for that in my description box. But I'm going to use a cup of the tallow that I rendered and 1/4 cup of the calendula oil that I have been steeping. And I don't even have a date on here, but it's been since August or September that this has been steeping. So it's been in there for 3-4 months. So a cup of tallow heated and melted with a 1/4 cup of the calendula oil, and I'm going to whip it and then put it into a jar for moisturizing, like body butter. I may or may not add some essential oils. My good oils are at work at my office, but I do have some lemon and lavender, but we'll see how it smells. I may or may not add oil. So I'm going to measure this out, get the tallow melted, whip the two together, cool it, and put it in the jar. The calendula oil has been strained and put in this bowl, and the melted tallow was put in the bowl. It does still smell a little beefy, not surprising, so I am going to add maybe about 20 drops of lemon and 20 drops of lavender oil to this, and then I will start whipping it. Whoa, okay, dropper. That was probably about 10. That's probably 20. Goodness. And I think that finishes up that bottle of lavender oil. Just going to let it cool a little bit until it will actually start whipping up, and I don't think that's going to take very long. It's starting to cool off enough to begin to whip. Not quite there yet. I'm using my hand beater that my son got me for Christmas because you know I'm trying to go manual on everything without electricity. I'm going to put it in the fridge for a little bit just to help it along. Getting impatient. Ooh, now we're getting there. I put it in the freezer for a couple of minutes. Let's put it in the freezer for a few more minutes. I think that's great. It's good and fluffy. I just need to get it put into jars now and get this cleaned off of the beaters because that cannot be washed down the sink. Too much fat for my sink. It is beautiful. So let's get it in here so we can use it. I'm going to keep some. I don't know if it needs to be kept in the fridge or not. We will find out if at room temperature it kind of ends up melting and losing its fluff or what. I don't know. There's one jar of whipped calendula tallow body butter. Now let's see if I can get another small jar or two. They'd be good gifts. Here's my beautiful larger jar of the whipped body butter from the calendula oil and tallow and some essential oils. And then here's a small half-pint jar that would be great for a gift, or maybe if my son would use it, I'd have him put it downstairs. But I'm excited that I finally made this. It smells and looks great, and it's very healthy for your skin. Happy New Year. I spent the evening at a local nightclub with my girlfriends to at least make it to the countdown. And today we've had cranberry orange scones made with buttermilk for breakfast, along with some sausage patties. And for dinner, we're going to have prime rib and a key lime pie. And what I'm using for my crust instead of graham cracker crumbs is put in the food processor leftover mug hugger gingerbread cookies. So I'm basically just replacing that with the graham crackers with that. So we'll see how it works out. This is the recipe from King Arthur Flour, their classic key lime pie. And I don't have access to actual key lime, so I'm using key lime bottled juice. But this is going to be our dessert for tonight with our prime rib. These are the beautiful cranberry orange scones that I made. Also a King Arthur Flour recipe, and it was for I think it was creamy orange scones. I did not have orange marmalade, but I did add the last of the cranberries that we have, so I adjusted the recipe a little bit. But the secret ingredient to this recipe and many others is Fiori di Sicilia. I get it from King Arthur Flour, but it's so good. It's kind of an orange vanilla flavor, but those were super good for brunch. The crust turned out okay. I think that the cookies powdered down too far. They weren't crumbly like graham cracker crumbs would be, and it kind of slouched down into the pan, so I took a spoon and spread it back up the sides again, but I'm letting it cool for a little bit before I put the filling in. And I think it'll be fine. Then we'll bake it a little longer according to the recipe. Oh, I think this is going to be good. I need to bake it for 25 minutes. 25 minutes is up. The edges are set and the center is a little bit wobbly, but honestly I think it went a little bit too far. I should have checked it before the timer went off, but it'll be fine. Gonna let it cool, and I'll get it in the refrigerator when it's cool enough to put in there. I am just searing the prime rib. All I did was rub salt and pepper on it. He tipped over, I need to fix him. And then I've got baked potatoes ready to go in after a bit, and then I'm also going to mix up some Yorkshire pudding. Last night after dinner, when I was doing dishes from cooking salmon, my old faucet handle snapped right off and could not be fixed. Some plastic broke inside there and it couldn't be screwed back on. So I ran to Menards and got home right around 9 o'clock last night, and my son and I put this, it was kind of a bitch getting the old faucet out, but putting the new one was easier. And I love my new faucet. I finally found some uncontaminated food grade 55-gallon barrels to make into rain barrels that collect water from my downspouts. The cool thing is that the guy I got them from on Facebook Marketplace already put hose end spigots at the bottom of each one. They're high quality. One of them's broken, but I can fix that. All I need is a few parts to be able to connect them to my downspout. 2 of them will be connected to downspouts, one on the garage, one on the house, and then the third barrel will be connected in series to one of the other 2, and I'll water my gardens and flowers from these. And then I will also spray paint them and dress them up, but I'll do a video on that whole process. But super excited. I don't know why they're so hard to find here in South Dakota, but they are. So I'm happy. I was measuring my downspouts for the rain barrel project, and look what I found. Another praying mantis egg case. So that's 3 by the front step. This one was a lot smarter because it's behind the gutter and a little more protected. If you remember from my other vlog, I found this one right on the front step rail, and then there was another one here on the rock. Before you go, I wanted to give you a rundown of what this last year has entailed here in my backyard homestead. I have to put on my reading glasses because I have a list. I grew way more food, most of it from heirloom seeds. I canned a whole bunch. I dehydrated a lot. I spruced up my root cellar. I created my long-term storage layer of food. I fermented a lot of foods. I created some amazing wild foraged home brews. I rendered tallow and lard and eliminated canola and other seed oils from my pantry. I am feeling more prepared for emergencies by creating a bug out bag. I've got a nice first aid kit, a get home car kit, a solar generator, a sanitation kit, ham radios, an e-bike, water stored, and food stored for emergencies, and lots of other gear items. I've saved money by ordering in bulk from Azure Standard, and I'll include a link in my description box so that you can create an account and order from them. I have done plenty of home maintenance and updates to my little old house. I made wild forage skincare items such as lotion bars, salve, and that body butter that's in this vlog. I started grinding my own flour with a handheld mill. I made cheeses and other dairy items from raw milk. I made my own vanilla extracts and paste. I put up a clothesline so I'm not using my dryer all the time. I made some wild forage medicines such as bitters, tinctures, cough syrup, and oxymels. I made wild forage incense cones for relaxation and meditation. And I foraged for new fruits and nuts that I canned and even made acorn flour to use out of. Thank you for watching my videos, and stay tuned for more backyard homesteading in this next year.